another episode of South Southern Suburban Conference Baseball. I'm Casey Lux, joined today by Skip Newton here at Wildcat Park as the Rosemount Irish travel across the metro to take on the Eagan Wildcats. Skip, how are we feeling here today on this Monday?
I mean, it's a gorgeous day for baseball, right? We're in the low 70s. There's a slight breeze maybe coming in from left field. Two teams, rivals in the South Suburban Conference. I think this was a day meant for baseball. It's awesome.
Absolutely, for sure. Wonderful day here. This is Eagan's last home game of the regular season. They did senior night last Thursday and have a couple more conference games this week and then have a non-conference game against Two Rivers, I think it is, coming up towards the end of the week. So they're looking to obviously get on the hot track and get ready here as, you know, the playoffs loom around the corner as for Eagan. And then Rosemount, after a rough start, has kind of been playing a lot better baseball as well. So I'll let you run through the Rosemount lineup here for us today.
Yeah, batting first, leading off is Will Peroka, center fielder. Left fielder, Cal Rone, batting second. Third, Ty Hansen, the second baseman. Cleanup is Tyler Jappel. He's the first baseman. Christian Garrity, the third baseman, bats fifth. Batting sixth, the shortstop, Zach Duscher. Catching, Steven Nazerka, batting seventh. Eighth is Colby Liebert. He is the designated hitter today. And Dane Roback, the right fielder, batting ninth.
And then our pitcher today is going to be Will Mitchell. Will Mitchell is a sophomore. Last year was primarily a pitcher, and he's going to bring to the plate today fastball, slider, changeup. And once we get through the first inning here, we'll get some stats on Will that I've prepared here for us today as well. So all set to play. Beautiful day. And we're going to have Will Peroka, center fielder, leading off right away out of the bat. And Will's a senior going to St. John's to play some football as well. So probably tells us, Skip, that there's some speed in those legs if he does get on base here early on. Heater up high, right down the not down the middle, but swung on and missed by Peroka. Great start by Mitchell. We'll give you the Eagan defense here in time as that fastball misses out. But a lot of the same characters in the field with just kind of one minor change out in right field today. So quickly 1-1. There's a curveball. Big swing, and Peroka swings so hard that he needs to get a little more pine tar on that bat, huh, Skip?
Absolutely. He swung hard. Wanted to hit that one hard somewhere, but nice pitch.
So as we mentioned, Mitchell, primarily fastball, slider, changeup. So got him on that changeup. That's where the bat went flying. 2-2 quickly is our count. Gorgeous day here. Wildcat Park, last home game of the season for the Wildcats. Fastball outside corner, framed by Lunenborg for strike three. That's going to retire Peroka, and that's going to bring up the left fielder, and that's Cal Rone. I'll give you our defense across the outfield as well as the diamond. You're going to have Joe Anderson out in left field, Tate Gage in center. Drew Boyd is that change out in right. Theo King at third, Matt Cunningham Sr. at short, senior Ryan Eckerly at second, Tony Hiveri, the junior at first, Brandon Lunenborg doing the catch behind the plate. Once again, Mitchell starting off quickly, pounding the zone early. It looks like he's really trying to get that fastball established, Skip, today, right away.
Yeah, he's doing a nice job of not only getting the fastball established, but keeping it in the zone, getting ahead of the batters.
Yeah, and it looks like he's hitting that outside corner enough that he's kind of getting the benefit of that corner call early in the game, as that one just misses. So there's my first K-Stradamus prediction of the day right there.
I like that. Yeah, the first couple of pitches he threw a little bit higher in the zone.
Sure.
He's been keeping it down since.
There's that sharp slider that just misses outside. So now quickly 2-2 to Rone, the left fielder. Fouled off. And we'll see. This may very well maybe the last production of Eagan Wildcat Baseball here on Eagan TV. We'll keep everybody informed as we get closer to playoffs and playoff dates are announced. If Eagan is able to do it, they will let us know, and we'll obviously relay that to everybody, and you might get a little Casey and Skip back into your end of May, maybe even into early June, depending on how long of a run the Wildcats go on. Full count now. Mitchell to Rone, two-hopper, King. Fields cleanly over to Hiveri. for the second out.
Batting third, number 2, Ty Hansen.
So Ty Hansen's going to step in. He's the second baseman today. He went batting from the left side. It's a nice routine play for King to get out of the way right away early in the first inning.
Yeah, I jumped on that one quite easily, picked it up on 2 hops, strong throw to first.
Fastball misses out. Haven't seen too many changeups here early on, so obviously Mitchell trying to establish the fastball, mix in the slider. It looks like it's probably been about 75% fastballs compared to sliders. This one may stay in field territory for King and just hits the top of the fence. So if he climbs it, a la Torrey Hunter style, maybe he had an out there.
Now you can see he's looked for the fence, kind of knew where it was, and just ran out of room. Yeah. Nice job keeping his composure and where he was on the field.
Yeah, and it's hard to fully tell. We don't have a flag out in left center like we normally do. I'm trying to kind of gauge our other flag behind us. It looks like we might have a little bit of wind coming in from left center, kind of across the diamond. Maybe kind of coming left center towards first base in, but not very strong today. So I don't think it'll make too much of an issue on pop-ups or cutting down line drives to the outfield. So quickly now, 2-1, 2 down. Mitchell on the plate. Yep, 2-2. There we go. Nice job, Skip. Scoreboard's behind. Skip's on target here. Fastball up. Misses. Now full count. Rosemount comes in today 4-11, but they did start off the season 0-8. So they flipped it around. They're 4-3 in their last 7 games. Payoff pitch fouled off. Eagan comes in today 7-9 overall. Their solo non-conference game was a game that you heard here live. Second game of the season on Eagan TV on a cold and chilly Saturday that Skip and I did. That was a Grand Rapids walk-off, a fun one, even though it was pretty chilly. Here's the payoff pitch. Grounder again to King, 2-hopper. King over across the diamond. Hivari, in time. So quickly, 1-2-3, excellent inning for the sophomore Will Mitchell, a strikeout and 2 Cokes groundouts to his third base, Theo King.
Once again, comes up, nice strong throw, accurate, beats the runner by a step, well played there.
Yeah, and I kind of alluded to it a little bit before, but Eagan comes in 7-9 overall, 6-9 in the conference, and we're going to get through the South Suburban Conference standings here in a second and kind of introduce those as we're getting kind of that nail-biting time of the playoffs, right, Skip? So run us through, Skip, of the South Suburban.
There you can see Farmington, Prior Lake up at the top, Shakopee, Burnsville, Eastview round out the top 5. Eastview and Burnsville, Eastview, because they're in the Section 3.
Yep.
As are both of these teams. It's a big game in Section 3 for
Correct.
both these teams. Eagan standing there at 6-9, 7-9 overall at 6th place. Lakeville North, Lakeville South follow that. And there's Rosemount, the opponent today, 4-11. Like you said, hot in their last 7 games.
Yeah, I mean, it's really bunched, as you can tell, right? I mean, as far as the conference goes, it's really bunched 4 through 7, 4 through 8, right? Kind of those teams with 7 down to 6 or even 5 wins. So that's the interesting part that we'll see today. The pitcher today is going to be Joe Timmerman. There's our flag that we can see. It's behind us, so that's the flag over on the track side, the football side. 72 degrees, got about 9-mile-an-hour winds. So like we said, we shouldn't see that be much of an effect on our balls hit today for the outfield as well. And Joe Timmerman is on the mound today for the Rosemount Irish. So beautiful 72-degree day. I think we've had about 4 or 5 of those in a row here in Minnesota. So everybody's loving life, whether that be golfing, grilling outside, probably even getting the pontoons out and running, right?
Absolutely. A closed circuit to the schedule makers for next year. If you could backload the Eagan schedule with more home games, we'd really appreciate it.
Absolutely, for sure. All right, we're going to run through the Eagan lineup. I'll do that. I'll take the honors. So junior Tate Gage is in center field. Junior Theo King at third. Sophomore pitcher today is Will Mitchell. Brandon Lunenborg is our sophomore catcher. Junior Tony Hivari is a junior at first. Senior Eckerly at second. The designated hitter is Aiden Canty. Senior Matt Cunningham at short. And then Drew Boyd is the one that's actually getting DH for, so it's going to be Joe Anderson batting in the 9th spot. He's a senior out and left. Nice job by Timmerman, establishing the fastball quickly at 1-1. Gage, the speedster, center fielder. Fastball misses out. on the season, 10 for 11 on stolen bases, leads the team there. Kind of leads the team in a lot of categories. Does Gage, leads the team in RBIs with 11, so that's kind of a rarity that you see from a leadoff spot. 2-1 pitch. Hopper going to be hopping over to Hansen, fields it cleanly, gets it over to Jappel. Jappel in time for the first out to get out the speedy Gage. And that'll bring up the third baseman, the junior Theo King. Nice job getting that early ground ball, right?
Yeah, it was a
Not
good play
getting
there,
behind in the count.
Exactly, good play by the second baseman. Down 2-1, but still got him on a ground ball.
Run us through a skip. Rosemount across the outfield in the diamond.
Outfield, you got Ronay, Peralka, and Roback. At third base, Garrity, Zach Duscher at short. Ty Hansen, second base, just made the play there. Flipped it over to Tyler Jappel at first base for the out. Joe Timmerman on the mound with Steven Nazarka behind the plate.
So that first pitch to King was in there for a strike by Timmerman. Fastball misses low, goes after Skip's mug, but blocked by the fence. King on the season, 373 on base percentage. One of three Eagan Wildcats with a home run. That was a huge home run a few games back. It was on Eagan TV, and that was to tie it in the 7th, and then the Wildcats walked it off. There's a strike in the outside corner. 8 runs scored on the season and a perfect 7 for 7 for stolen bases for King. So, like many Wildcats, and if you watch some of the Wildcat broadcasts this year, you know they're an aggressive team on the base pass and with a lot of team speed. Another hot shot over to Hansen, nicely fielded to his glove side, flipped over to Jappel in time. So, Timmerman 2 for 2 on ground balls over to second baseman Hansen.
Did a nice job adjusting to a bit of a different hop there,
Yeah.
but he had it the whole way and just kind of came up on him and he made the play. Easy flip to first.
So, pitcher, sophomore Will Mitchell steps in. He's hitting in the 3 spot here today. As we mentioned last year, primarily a pitcher only, a PO as the kids call it this year. A little bit of wears many hats. One of their main starting pitchers, plays a little bit of right, also a DH at times, but swinging a hot bat. As we see, nice curveball in there for Timmerman. And Mitchell is leading the team. These numbers are pretty impressive. 405 average, 458 on base percentage, 7 RBIs, 4 runs scored for Mitchell. Big hop over the top of Jappel. That one, what they say is had eyes on it, caught the lip. Excellent reaction by Jappel, but just too high of a hop. So Will Mitchell gets a favorable bounce for a single to help his cause. And he's going to get a courtesy runner, which will be the senior Eddie Moore.
So it looked like that one just hit the lip of the grass there.
Yeah.
And boy, did that take a hop up. That's just unfortunate. Really no chance for the first baseman here. As you can see, it skyrocketed over his head.
Yeah. Oh, better over the head than into the teeth, right, Skip?
Yes, that is absolutely true.
Eddie Moore is a senior. He's kind of the pitch running extraordinaire, if you want to say so, as the sophomore catcher Brandon Lunenburg steps in. Eddie Moore's got 8 runs on the season, 1 for 1 on stolen bases. So Eddie is typically used as the courtesy runner primarily for the catcher Lunenburg, today also being used for the pitcher Will Miller. So 0-1 quickly, Timmerman to Lunenburg with Moore at first. A heater that Lunenburg gets away from. Also brought the bat down with him. That was close to even hitting the bat and potentially being a ball in play. Lunenburg, 354 average, 466 on base as Moore slides back in safely. 5 doubles, has a home run, 9 RBIs on the season. 9 RBIs puts him in tied for second on the team. Moore takes off. Throw down to second by Nazarka. Not in time. So Moore glides into second for his second stolen base on the season in scoring position as Lunenburg steps to the plate. 2-1 is our count.
Got a nice jump by Moore there. The throw is too low, too hard to handle. I'm not sure if the tag would have been over in time, as Moore, again, had a pretty nice jump, had first slide.
It was a good throw. I think the throw very well could have beat him. It was just thrown to the shortstop side instead of towards the second base or towards, actual second base, right? He had to kind of have a perfect backhand to scoop and then bring it all the way across his body for a tag. 3-1 now the count to Lunenburg. 2 down here in the bottom of the first. Rosemount Irish taking on the Eagan Wildcats in South Suburban Conference action here at Wildcat Park on a 72-degree day on a Monday. Fastball misses out. We're probably going to see another courtesy runner here in a second as Lunenburg takes that jaunt down to first. That'll bring up the big first baseman, Tony Hyveri. And that's going to send out another running extraordinaire, Jackson Dwyer. Dwyer, although he's got some brake lights in front of him with Eddie Moore on the base, but Dwyer also 5 for 6 on the year in stolen bases, 7 runs scored primarily as a courtesy runner or pinch runner. So plenty of team speed. So base hit should send 1, a ball to the gap, could bring in 2 skip for the Wildcats. Nice block by Nazirka.
Yeah, very important there. Keep the runners on the bases where they're at. This way, if there's some sort of a ground ball that they can't necessarily get the out on, the odds of them being able to prevent the run go up.
Hyveri, 327 on base percentage. Big swing, outside corner by Timmerman. Nice pitch. 327 on base, 2 doubles. He has a home run. That was last week at Burnsville. Solo shot, as well as 6 RBIs, 9 runs scored, and the big guy motors as well, 5 for 7 on stolen bases, Skip, for the first baseman. Outside corner in there for a strike. Looks like early on, Timmerman primarily fastball, curveball, and I think we've seen maybe a few changeups. That one might have been a changeup there, or at least at worst just took a little bit off his fastball. 1-2 count, 2 down. Moore on second, Dwyer on first. Timmerman's pitch to Hyveri. Swung on and missed on a curveball. So nice job by Timmerman after that base hit and walk to limit the damage. For Eagan, no runs on no hits, no errors, and 2 left on. We'll be back in 60 seconds for the top of the second here, Rosemount at Eagan.
If you're buzzed and doing this to make yourself feel okay to drive,
CWX.
you're not okay to drive.
YGKLVW. Regular you.
How you holding up? Nothing wrong with getting help.
If I promise to look into it, will you drop it and help me build this fence?
Now you need my help.
If you or a veteran you know needs support, don't wait. Reach out. Find resources at va.gov/reach.
Skip Newton here at Wildcat Park. 0s on the board. We're going to have Skip run us through some of the starting pitcher, sophomore Will Mitchell's stats here on the season.
Yeah, great start so far for Mitchell. This is start number 6 on the season. He's pitched 27 innings coming into tonight.
Okay.
Of course, he had the 1-2-3 first.
Yep.
3 wins, couple of losses, 12 earned runs, 11 base on balls, 24 strikeouts, 25 now with that
Yeah.
first inning, and an ERA of 3.11. So really nice job this season.
And I think, the other thing that's kind of key with that is I think for a lot of fans and people that know, I think the walks kind of maybe, hit him and haunted him a little bit earlier in the season. So, I mean, now getting at 25-11, that's a great ratio. You're starting to get close to that 3-to-1 ratio, right? And then once you give me 2 real quick, too, what's the team ERA? I think I put that on there. Maybe I didn't. Yeah, there we go. Team ERA for Eagan.
Just over 4. I mean, it's almost 4 flat. So
Right.
what we expected, right, coming
Correct.
into the season, the strength of this ball club would be their pitching.
Yep, absolutely. There's a slider that misses out for a ball. And I think that's what shows you, though, right? I mean, the conference record is 6-9. The overall record is 7-9. You have a 4 ERA. What that's telling you is you're staying in games. you're not having games where you're giving up a lot of runs. As we see a nice shot out to the outfield by Jappel for the first hit of the game. Caught a fastball on that 1-0 pitch. So Jappel on base early on for the Irish. But I think on the Eagan side, just to kind of reiterate once again, as we watch Christian Garrity, the third baseman, step in, is, you know, a 4 ERA. What that's going to tell you, right, as you can see that base hit, nice job by Gage to use his speed to cut it off, is that's keeping your team in the game. So really what that's showing you too is that, you know, obviously some of those losses are just not, the bats aren't, you know, following up and putting the runs across the board. There's a slider that misses low. So Jappel on first, Garrity at the plate.
Yeah, Jappel really tagged that hot shot to center field. Like you said, though, Gage doing a nice job getting over there and cutting that off, keeping him to a single.
Yeah, I mean, off the bat, I thought it was hit a little harder. There's a one hop that's going to be just foul past Hyveri. But yeah, I mean, off the bat from, you know, and we're just a little bit off of, you know, people maybe can see us in the background, but we're just a little bit off of that left-handed batter's box. Off the bat, it didn't have the sound that it was hit as hard as, you know, maybe it looked off the bat. It kind of had a dull sound to it. But off the bat, I thought there was a chance that was going to run to the gap. So nice job by Gage to obviously get a good read on it right off the bat, cut it off, and keep Jappel to just a single. So Garrity's at the plate. 1-1's their count. Jappel's at first. Both teams have a hit on the board. Top of the second here. Rosemount Irish traveling in. A check swing, but didn't go across. Eichen made that call, right, Skip? So you could have as well.
Yeah, it looked like he held up. I would have agreed with that,
right.
too.
But, you know, a lot of times I think what that tells you is that, you know, the hitter's up there ready to hit, right? He's not up there trying to look for a walk and just try to find a certain pitch. This one's going to be popped up to center. It's going to bring Gage in. Gage is going to call off Anderson and make the play in shallow center field. I don't know what it is today, Skip. It just feels like the balls are getting deadening off of the bats. Even that one didn't really have a lot of pop on it.
Yeah, you could tell as soon as it was hit, the sound, like
right.
you said, it just sounded dead.
Yeah.
And then when you watched Gage out in center field, you realized he had to get on his horse a little bit to make sure he
right.
got under that one. It was not well hit.
Yeah. I had a little more carry than I thought because at first the way it sounded, I thought it was just going to be a couple steps back for Cunningham, and he was going to catch it on the start of the outfield grass. So Zach Duscher will step in. He's the shortstop, number 3. Jappel's on first with that leadoff hit here in the second. Mitchell's heater is up high and misses. Duscher also planning on playing some sports next year. He's a senior. He's going to go to Dubuque to play baseball.
These seniors are getting ready. Graduation for Eagan less than 3 weeks away now.
Isn't that wild to think, too? I mean, season starts in April, and you just pack a lot of games in, and to everybody's credit and the weather's credit, Mother Nature's credit for that being said, I think Egan's had 2 games that they've had to move all year, due to rain. I mean, you didn't have to move any because of cold. You didn't have to move any because the field was, not thawed out. So, I mean, it's been you cross your fingers that you hope that you can kind of play that out, because where it gets really tricky is when you start getting storms come playoff time.
Exactly, yeah. You only have so many dates that you can put a baseball game in.
So the 3-0 pitch is across for a strike, so now 3-1 to Duscher, the senior shortstop. Jappel at first, led off the inning with the single to center. Mitchell, the sophomore, on the mound. Here's the 3-1 pitch. Swung on, miss on a heater. So fills up the count to 3-2.
Good hard fastball there. Running the count full.
Yeah, just kind of you can see it, can you hit it type of pitch, right? Throw over to Hyveri as Jappel gets back in safely. Surprisingly, they have Drew Boyd kind of hugging that right field line a little bit. What that tells me is that they're trying to pitch Duscher away. And you can see Gage is a little bit shaded towards right center, and Joe Anderson's giving up a lot of room down the left field line.
Well, we've seen a lot of foul balls going the opposite way,
Correct.
which tells me that Mitchell's ahead. The batters are behind, so
Correct.
maybe they're banking on that as well.
Fastball misses up for the first walk of the day from Mitchell. That's going to send Duscher down to first. That's going to bring up the catcher, Steven Nazirka. And I think, what you're kind of noticing too, Skip, was he was, trying to control and command that outside corner with his fastball right away in the top of the first inning. and with him, primarily throwing fastball slider, he's going to try to force the Rosemount hitters to go with the pitch, right, and try to hit it to the right side, right? He's not going to, throw inside fastballs and allow them to turn on him today. At least that might be the scouting plan for pitching coach Luke Degremont for the Wildcats.
What he needs now is a nice hard ground ball hit right at somebody.
It's popped up. It's going to be right side. This is going to more than likely have to be over to Drew Boyd, which he does have a beat on it. Boyd catches it, sets his feet, no tag. So Nazirka is retired, bringing up Colby Liebert, who is the designated hitter today.
Pretty much a can of corn there. Nice job getting a position. And as we talked about, him being faded to that right side worked out well.
I mean, that's about the closest I've seen a right fielder for Eagan play to the line all year. So there's something obviously in the game plan. We'll see what happens here now with Liebert, the lefty. Fastball outside corner in there for a strike. Quickly 0-1. Jappel is on second. Duscher on first. Jappel reached on a single to lead off the inning. Duscher reached on a walk. Ball in the dirt, blocked by Lunenborg. Excellent job to keep runners at bay. 2 down, top of the second. Rosemount Irish 4-11 coming into today's game in conference play. Eagan 6-9. But both teams kind of feel each other's pain as Eagan started the year, I think, 0-4, 0-5, and Rosemount started the year 0-8, 0-7. Off the foot for a foul ball.
Oh, it did hit his foot. That's unfortunate.
Home plate umpire was on top of that one right away. While the hitter and the defense still played it out.
Well, you never know, right?
Nope, absolutely.
As they say in other sports, you play to the whistle.
Yep.
No
right.
whistle here, but
exactly.
Play it out.
And if it truly went off his foot, then you run it off too, so that way your foot's not tingling here on this 1-2 pitch by Mitchell. Fouled off towards the Eagan dugout. Came out with a changeup, so one of the few changeups that we've seen from Mitchell here today. I'm guessing changeup will be a pitch that he'll use, second time through the lineup, more so than fastball slider that Mitchell's been throwing here early on. 1-2 count, 2 down. Jappel at second, Duscher at first. Popped up. This should stay in the infield. I think it's going to be Cunningham's ball. The shortstop is caught for the third out of the inning. So for Rosemount, no runs on 1 hit, no errors, 2 left on. Back in 60 seconds as the Wildcats come to the plate here at Wildcat Park on Eagan TV.
Hey, we should volunteer for this.
I wish I had time.
Scrolling all day, time can disappear. Wanna make it count, why not volunteer?
Posting pics of your food, that takes up time. Maybe just eat me, I don't really mind.
Time, you've got time. As your reflection, it's my duty to say.
Time, I've got time.
All my pics are the same.
I am some eggs.
10 hours a week deciding where to go eat.
Well, where do you want to eat? Maybe let's not go out to eat.
You paint your walls from cream to white, then from white to cream, then back to white.
Time, you've got time to binge all of season 9, though it got so bad.
Time, you've got time. We're gonna grow back and be the same brows you had.
Time, you got time.
Listen to my plea as I harmonize.
Time, you've got time.
Zooba-doo-bop, wow.
Just a few hours to keep families from harm. Help us end home fires with Sound the Alarm.
Volunteer for a day to install free smoke alarms in your community.
Back here at Wildcat Park, I'm Casey Lux, joined again by today's my left-hand man, as Skip's sitting on the left-hand side, not the right side. They switched it up on us, trying to make sure we're on our toes, I think.
It threw me off when I first got here. I got to admit, I was like, wait a minute, what's going on here?
I have a little bit better view because I don't have the pole in my way a little bit towards left field or even at times third base, but they take care of us on Eagan TV, get us set up, all ready to go. Ryan Eckley, the second baseman, the senior, steps in. Timmerman's first pitch, fastball in the dirt, misses. 1-0 quickly now the count. I'll give you some Eckerly stats here in a second. Rosemount defense playing Eckerly for the most part straight up. There's a fastball in there for strike. Eckerly on the season, 260 on base, has a double, 5 RBIs, 9 runs, 5 for 6 on the bases when it comes to stealing them. Curveball misses in, 2-1. Timmerman working with his battery mate, Nazirka.
Eckerly been playing some great middle infield defense all season long. Played a lot of shortstop, now moves over to second base.
Exactly. Yeah, and Eckerly played quite a bit last year, so this isn't anything overly new to him. Middle infielder. Don't have the sheet with me, but I think he's planning on playing either at Eau Claire or River Falls next year for baseball, one of the Wisconsin schools.
Almost positive it's River Falls.
Okay. And I should know all this because we had senior night last Thursday, and I, said where everybody was going and what their plans were. But yeah, Eckerly set to play some more baseball after this season. 3-2 pitch by Timmerman, inside corner, low and in. Eckerly coaxes a walk, which will bring up the designated hitter, and that's going to be sophomore Aiden Canty. Canty 286 on base, 1 double. Canty does have 9 RBIs, so he's tied with Lunenburg for second on the team in RBIs, 6 runs scored as well. Eckerly, as we said, 5 for 6 on the season on stolen bases. So we'll see if they try to test Nazirka here for the second time today. Fastball in there for a strike, 0-1 is our count. And as Skip, you've watched enough of Eagan's games here this year. This is the formula that they want, right? Get the leadoff guy on. Almost, I'd probably say, typically every game, 7 or 8 of their 9 guys, in their lineup are guys that all are threats to steal. And, whether they want to put the bunt down, it's going to set up the run game. It's going to set up their aggressiveness to try to get guys in scoring position early in the inning, right?
Yeah, absolutely. It's second strike there takes away the bunt option, but that doesn't necessarily mean that Eckerly won't just try to steal the base outright.
Right. Or send them to try to stay out of a double play ball, things of that nature. So Timmerman doing a nice job here to Canty, quickly working 0-2, but also keeping an eye on Eckerly at first as he's thrown over a couple times here already during this at-bat. Canty, 9 RBIs on the season. Fastball low, nice job by Nazirka keeping that in front. Waste pitch, 1-2, now the count to the sophomore designated hitter, Aiden Canty. Third baseman, Garrity, playing even with the base. Middle infield set up for a double play ball. Fouled straight back. 1-2 is still our count.
Nice job getting a piece of that. It was an off-speed pitch. He was a little out in front, but held his hands back just enough. Was able to get a piece.
Keep the bat alive. And as you know, too, in the high school game, every pitch matters when the pitch count potentially can come in play later on in the game, right? 2 hopper, that's going to be Garrity. Garrity's only plays going to be to first. He's going to throw over in time to Jappel. Nice job of holding base there by Garrity at third, but that's going to send Eckerly over to second. So just like we talked about, they sent Eckerly in motion to stay away from that double play ball. It worked out. Garrity with a routine grounder, easy throw to Jappel. Get the first out of the inning.
Yeah, you called it. Hit and run, keeping out the double play. Nice job.
Senior shortstop Matt Cunningham steps in with a RBI opportunity with Eckerly at second. His middle infield mate trying to hit him in. Duscher working on keeping Eckerly close. First pitch misses out. Cunningham on the season. Missed a few games with some injuries. 300 on base percentage, but he does have 3 doubles. That's third on the team. 3 RBIs, 6 runs, 7 for 9 on stolen bases. Big swing, 1-1. Now our count.
Yeah, right down the middle. He liked that one, just a little bit behind it.
Yeah, the doubles that I've seen, it tends to be he likes to turn on that inside pitch and kind of, boom him down the, left field line. Fastball just misses out by Timmerman. Nice purpose pitch there. 2-1 count, 1 down, bottom of the second here. Eagan Wildcats trying to threaten. First time they've had a runner on second. Rosemount did get Jappel over to second last inning, but both Jappel and Duscher were stranded on a pop-up to end the inning. 2-1 count, Timmerman to Cunningham. Popped up behind us and foul. 2-2 now to the senior shortstop. It looks like the Rosemount Irish have employed a little bit of the number system too, as they kind of wear the quarterback wristband as well on defense. Curveball crosses the plate, maybe a little high to Cunningham's liking, but excellent pitch, late movement by Timmerman for the second out of the inning.
Yeah, I don't think Cunningham liked that call. He kind of gave a second look and then walked away. Let's look at it right here.
Yeah, it was a little, I mean, it was hard to tell. I guess if it dropped in the zone late, but it did kind of come across the letters, I thought, kind of around the plate. So that was kind of a high strike that benefited Timmerman. Senior left fielder Joe Anderson steps up, hitting in the number 9 slot. Joe, 327 on base, 1 double, 10 runs scored, perfect 6 for 6 on stolen bases. Eckerly still at second, dancing around, making sure Timmerman keeping an eye on him. Fastball misses out, 1-1 our count. 2 down, bottom of the second, Wildcat Park. Conference matchup bringing Rosemount across the cities to take on Eagan. Some would say that this is kind of one of their bigger rivalry games with Eastview.
I would say Eastview and Rosemount are probably the two biggest rivals for Eagan, across the sports.
Right. One, 2 now our count after that foul pitch by Anderson. Anderson trying to get on to roll that lineup back over to the top. Bring up the center fielder, leadoff hitter, Tate Gage. So 1-2's our count. Timmerman on the mound, checking in the signs, and Nazirka. Pitch to Anderson. Ball hit out to right, but not far enough. As a nice beat and nice quick, like cat moves by Jappel to retire Anderson. So for Eagan, they get no runs, no hits, no errors, 1 left on. 2 complete, no score. Back in 60 seconds for more South Suburban Conference action on Eagan TV.
If you're buzzed and doing this, to make yourself feel okay to drive,
CWX.
you're not okay to drive.
YGKLVW. Regular you.
Wash, washy, wash, washy, wash, wash your hands. Scrub it while you sing this song. Wash, washy, wash, washy, wash, wash. Rub your hands and fingers and the places in between. Using soap and water makes your hands so clean. Wash your hands. Great job, you're almost done. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, now dry.
Wash your hands for 20 seconds, just like Elmo.
Good reminder for everybody, Skip, to wash your hands for 20 seconds, just like Elmo.
You got to listen to Elmo. Absolutely.
Oh, boy. All right, so top of the third. We'll run through the coaching staffs real quick here. Head coach for the Rosemount Irish is Chris Swanson, as you see him kind of crossing home plate, running over to coach third, assisted by Paul Henderson, Scott Peters, and Mike Wilford. On the Eagan side, your head coach is Steve Butler, and his pitching coach is Luke Degremont, and then his other assistants are Zach Walls and Paul Weinberg. 2 hop, backhand, nice play by King. Throw across the diamond to Highbury in time. 1 pitch, 1 out to retire the number 9 hitter, which was Dane Roback.
Decently hit ball. Nice job moving to his right. Played it with the backhand. Had plenty of time to flip that one over to first.
Yeah, so King's the one that's getting all the action today. He's already had 3 ground balls come his way here early on here today's game. Leadoff hitter steps back in. It's Will Peroka, center fielder, as we mentioned, planning to play for some football for the St. John Johnnies. Mitchell, the sophomore, 1-0 count, now quickly 2-0. Yeah, and you can tell, I mean, Mitchell, it's hard to say what he is, if he's a fly ball or a ground ball pitcher. That one's going to be hit down the line. Drew Boyd, nice job by the freshman. Getting a good read on it, knows where he is, how much room he has. So what do we have here? Skip 3-4 pitches, 2 outs quickly for Mitchell, right?
Yeah, 4 pitches, 2 outs. He was definitely behind on that one, but got enough on it to hit a lazy fly ball. Well played by the right fielder out there. Nice play by Boyd.
Yeah, so Drew Boyd, I believe this is his first start in right. I think he may be seen sometimes, coming in late in the game, but getting the start today out in right field. 2 down. There's a nice slide piece for a strike. Quickly 0-1. But yeah, as I mentioned before, I mean, a nice mixture for Mitchell today. Primarily fly balls, but he also has obviously induced 3 ground balls over to third base. And then we're going to see our 4th ground ball to third base. You're hearing it a lot today. King to Hyveri. That's the 4th time. So quickly, 1, 2, 3, no runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left on. Zeros on the board. Coming back in 60 seconds for the bottom of the 3rd as the Eagan Wildcats come to the plate on Eagan TV.
Honey, what I think you need is a socket wrench.
I played JV basketball.
I'm sorry. I don't think it looks right.
This is good, and it's all good, baby.
Is it really all good?
If you love me enough to routinely test your handyman skills, not to mention the strength of your marriage, then of course you'll visit nhtsa.gov/therightseat to make sure I'm in the right car seat.
I'm gonna call my dad.
Hi, I'm Smokey Bear, and I made an assistant to help you out, because only you can prevent wildfires.
Hey, Assistant Smokey Bear, call me Papa Bear, because I'm grilling up dinner. Do you get it?
Yes, good job.
So, what should I do with all these coals?
Don't just toss them out. Put them in a metal container because those embers can start a wildfire.
I understand. The stakes are high.
Ha, 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 ha.
See, Smokey thinks I'm funny.
Wildcat Park, bottom of the 4th. Now we're back to the top of the lineup, and this is going to be Tate Gage, the center fielder, is going to step in. Pitcher today is Joe Timmerman, if you're just joining us. Both teams have 1 hit on the board. 0s are their score. Fastballs in there for a strike for Timmerman. Gage with the speed, 10 for 11 on the bases when it comes to stealing. 12 runs scored this season. Leads the team in RBIs at 11. There's a curveball, nice curveball, swung on and missed. But I will say this, for a leadoff hitter, you don't see very many. You don't see Gage very often try to do a drag bunt. He's up there to swing, and that's evident in 11 RBIs leading the team. Curveball just misses on the outside corner. 1-2. Good purpose pitch by Timmerman.
And I think that delivery by Timmerman, just that little hesitation in his windup.
Yep. Another curveball misses. And you can kind of tell too, at this point, teams know what other teams do. There's ways that they can see the games, whether it's on Game Changer and stuff like that. When you notice when it's a leadoff hitter's up and the third baseman isn't creeping up on the grass, that's usually a telltale sign that this guy doesn't do a lot of drag bunts. He's going to be swinging away. Across the infield, you have Garrity at third, Duscher at short, Hansen at second, and Jappel at first for the Irish. Across the outfield is Ronay in left, Peroka in center, and Roback out in right. Nazirker is our catcher. Curveball again misses, now 3-2. So a nice at bat by Gage to work it from 0-2 to 3-2.
Yeah, really, really nice eye there holding off on that curveball.
So payoff pitch coming from Timmerman to Gage. Fastball on the knees, outside corner, strike 3. Nice pitch by Timmerman, not to let up and walk the speedy Gage at the top of, the top of the lineup, but the start here of the third inning. Theo King, the junior, will step in. Nice pitch right in the outside corner. Nice frame by Nazirka as well.
Yeah, he froze Gage on that one. I'm not sure if he was thinking something else, but yeah, just right on it. It was a nice pitch.
He'd just seen at least, I think it was 3 out of the 4 last pitches were curveballs, so he might have been thinking curveball was coming. Gage hits one up the middle. It's going to get past the second baseman, Hansen. So first pitch swinging, King. First pitch swinging for a base hit for the junior, Theo King. Theo King will be a threat to run. He's 7 for 7 on the season when it comes to swipes.
First pitch swinging right up the middle, second hit of the ball game. Nice to get another runner on base.
You know, and you kind of wonder if that's a adjustment by the Wildcats, hitters, right? Is that maybe they're seeing the trend that Timmerman tends to start with a first pitch fastball and, to not get deep in the count, and to give into his curveball, which seems to be getting sharper as the game goes on. Sophomore hitting is Mitchell, and he takes a swing at the first pitch too. So whether that's coincidence or maybe I have a live feed in my ear what the coaches are saying, I don't want to give away secrets here.
Right, but the thing with Timmerman is he's been around the plate all game, so they have to rely on the fact that, okay, this ball's probably going to be a decent one to hit.
Yeah.
Why not swing right away?
Exactly. For sure. 0-1 is our count. King at first, throw over. King gets back in time. Mitchell pitching today, sophomore, leading the team in hitting, 405, an impressive 458 on base percentage. And then Mitchell does have 7 RBIs on the season. Mitchell's going to take off. A strong throw by Nazirka. King gets in just in time. So King now 8 for 8 on the season when it comes to stolen bases. Strong throw by the catcher, Nazirka. Bang, bang play. Ump was all over it. Let's see what you see here, Skip.
Boy, he just got his hand in time. That was a bang, bang play. Second stolen base so far today for Eagan. They're 2 for 2.
But a strong, strong throw by the catcher, Nazirka. So 0-2 count to the pitcher, Mitchell. A little pitcher v. pitcher matchup. Nice job keeping in front by Nazirka, the catcher. King now at second. The second threat of the day for the Wildcats. One down.
Both catchers today doing a nice job keeping that ball in front of them on low pitches when there's runners on base.
Yeah. Yeah, and something that isn't, praised as often as it probably should be, right? You just don't want to give up free bases. Curveball misses low. 1-2 count now. 1 out.
That might be the blocked balls by the catcher might be the only statistic that baseball doesn't keep.
Yeah, right.
You really don't hear about that. You just kind of know generally who's good at it and who maybe needs to work harder.
2-2 count. Timmerman's pitch to Mitchell on the corner for strike 3. So Rosemount pitcher wins the battle versus Eagan pitcher. Bringing up the sophomore catcher, Brandon Lundenborg.
4 strikeouts so far here in just 2 2/3 inning, and it feels like Timmerman's really getting into a groove.
Yeah, and I think, unofficially, but I think 3 of the 4 have been all looking, and where he's been basically painting that outside corner.
Yeah, the last 3 have all been looking.
Yeah. Pickoff attempt to Hansen at second. King gets back in time. Lundenborg, plenty of pop in his bat as a sophomore catcher. 354 average, 466 on base, 5 doubles to lead the team. Fastball misses low. 1 home run on the season that was hit here at home. 9 RBIs, which is tied for second on the team with Canty.
He walked in the first inning and was stranded at first. The only walk so far today given up by Timmerman.
Okay. So 2 down, 1-0 count. Timmerman to the catcher, Lundenborg. The junior third baseman, King, at second. Fastball misses out. Quickly 2-0 to the Eagan catcher. And the thing to always kind of watch too is, when you got a runner at second, especially with 2 outs, as the skip, is kind of keep an eye on what their secondary lead is. And that's going to help the third base coach to make the call on a base hit. Even if it's a hard ball hit straight at a fielder, left field, right field, if that's going to give the call to them, wave them home or hold them up and play a little bit safer. 2-1 count.
Any line drive to the outfield, that he's going to be running on contact given there's 2 outs.
Right. Ball hit to center. It's going to bring Peroka in and not going to make the catch. Excellent effort. Wind might have killed that one a little bit. A throw off of a second baseman Hansen's back is going to send Lunenborg to second. So that ball was kind of deadened off the bat. Peroka was playing deeper for the number 4 hitter, excuse me. Excellent speed to come in on it.
I think he would have had it if he hadn't dove when he did. I think he went down just a little too early, maybe another step or two, and he might be able to either underhand that one, like, with the top of the toes catch, or maybe just dive one step later.
Sure. So third hit of the day now for the Wildcats. Jackson Dwyer is going to come in as the courtesy runner, and he's going to take off in the first pitch, but Hivari was going for that first pitch as well. So quickly now, early here in the bottom of the third, 1-0. 1-0 is our score, with Eagan scoring with 2 outs on the RBI single by Lunenborg to score Theo King from second. 2 down, Timmerman on the mound, going to keep an eye now on Dwyer after they just saw him take off in that first pitch. Curveball misses out to the first baseman, the junior Tony Hivari. 327 on base, 2 doubles, a big home run last week at Burnsville. 6 RBIs, 9 runs scored. Jackson Dwyer on the bases, 5 for 6 on the season with stolen bases. A little cat and mouse game being played here.
Wildcats with a big run-scoring 2-out hit, looking for another one here.
Yeah, and right through the meat of the lineup at the same time as well. Pickoff attempt, not in time, thrown over to Hansen. So that very well was the call that everybody was looking at their call sheet on their wristbands. Kind of a adapted new maneuver strategy, if you want to say, in baseball that some teams have jumped on board with. Fastball swung on and foul down foul third baseline.
I'll admit, I miss the base coaches or the manager, doing the sleeves and the signs and touching their cap and the ear, and it's always fun to watch that.
Yeah.
It's just part of the game for me growing up.
Correct. But I think what's been happening more and more is that you put a couple guys on your bench, to watch that coach's signs to see what you can pick up. Dwyer takes off. Nazirka's throw to third. In time. We were blocked by the home plate ump, so I couldn't tell if he was safe or out. So nice strong throw by Nazirka to retire Dwyer at third. For Eagan, 1 run on 2 hits, no errors, nobody left on. They lead 1-0. Back in 60 seconds. Top of the 4th inning as Rosemount comes to the plate on Eagan TV.
Honey, what I think you need is a socket wrench.
I played JV basketball.
I'm sorry. I don't think it looks right.
This is good, and it's all good, baby.
Is it really all good?
If you love me enough to routinely test your handyman skills, not to mention the strength of your marriage, then of course you'll visit nhtsa.gov/therightseat to make sure I'm in the right car seat.
I'm gonna call my dad.
How do you know when you've made the right decision? It's the feeling you get in your gut, the one that tells you what's right or wrong. It's the voice inside you that says, I'm buzzed. Better leave the car when it's time to go. Buzz driving is drunk driving.
All right, taking a nice little shot of the beautiful fans in the stands here today on the 72-degree day on Monday. South Suburban Conference action. Rosemount traveling to take on the Wildcats. Sophomore pitcher Will Mitchell's first pitch misses up for ball 1. At the plate is the 3rd hitter in the lineup, the 3-stick, and that's going to be Ty Hansen, the second baseman. There's 2 lefties in the lineup today for the Irish. 2-0 count. Fastball across the letters for a strike by Mitchell.
Hansen 0 for 1 today, ground out to the third baseman, 1 of 4 ground outs to third so far, and there's another one.
And we got another one. Dive, backhand play, but that throw's going to be too high to Hyveri. It's backed up by Boyd, but that's going to send Hansen to second. So now Rosemount with another opportunity to try to tie this thing up or put some runs across the board. Excellent play by King. I think he truly just rushed his throw, and that's what launched it past the tall first baseman Hyveri.
Yeah, great diving save, and then just got under it. It looked like his arm level dropped a little bit, and that caused the ball to go high.
Yeah, he just very well just kind of rushed his throw, because typically King will, throw it over the top. There's a slider in there for a strike to the first baseman, Tyler Jappel. On all the other ground balls, it's more of a throw over the top. That time when he dove, he got up and he kind of went with a little bit of a three-quarter sidearm throw, and in doing so, the release point was too late. Skies over the tall first baseman, Tony Hyveri. Slider in there for a strike again, quickly 0-2 to the cleanup hitter, Tyler Jappel, first baseman.
Jappel has the only hit so far today for the Irish, a single back in the second inning. Got as far as second base and was stranded there.
Yep. So 0-2, Mitchell on the mound, Hansen at second, Nibbles on the outside corner for a ball. 1-2 count. First error of the day on either side on the throw by King. Hyveri playing in case of a push bunt, sack bunt, but highly unlikely, I would say, by your number 4 stick. They're going to let him swing away.
I would think so.
Hansen at second. Cunningham keeping an eye on him. Mitchell on the mound. Sophomore's 1-2 pitch. Belted but foul down the third base line, but out of 1-2 count. Eagan scored a run on a Brandon Lunenborg 2-out single to center. An excellent effort by the center fielder Peroka. It just needed about 6 more inches to make a inning-ending diving catch. Here's our pitch. Foul back again. So an excellent at-bat here by Jappel against Mitchell, not giving in. Interested to see if the changeup's coming up here after he's primarily gone fastball slider.
Yeah, and he had that one timed pretty well. So in the other one, he pulled on the left field line. You think he'd do something to throw him off a little bit here, especially when he's ahead in the count.
Yep. Yeah, I haven't seen too many changeups here early on from Mitchell, but we'll see what he comes with here as his out pitch. 1-2 count. Here's his pitch to Jappel. Slider. Nice block by Lunenborg. Kept in front. 2-2 now to the first baseman, Tyler Jappel. Only hit of the day for the Irish. Hansen reached on a hot shot to third. A diving backhanded play by King, but the throw sailed on him to the first baseman, Hyveri. Grounder to second. Eckerly relay to Hyveri's in time, but Jappel does his job, moves the runner over to third with 1 out now, and we'll see the third baseman, Christian Garrity. Smart piece of hitting. Under control, understanding what you needed to do to try to get that run across. There's no need to try to take a hero swing, and roll it over to third and keep that runner at second. Hits it behind the runner to Eckerly at second, moves him that much closer. Ball takes a funky hop on Cunningham. It's going to be a base hit as Garrity first pitch swinging will tie it up, bring in Hansen. Was kind of blocked there a little bit by our umpire, but it looked like in this replay, it looked like it took kind of a funky hop at the last second over the top of his glove. He never touched it. Well, actually, Egan's going to give that an air, so maybe they did catch a little bit of leather on that skip. I couldn't really see it. I just saw it kind of get past the glove.
Yeah, I wasn't sure either. It was a pretty well-hit ball, but unfortunately, like you said, the hop infield playing in, so he had to make a quick decision, just couldn't quite make the play.
All right, so there was a little bit of confusion in the dugout because they put a hit on the board and an error on the board, and you can't have both, Skip. So no error for Cunningham, second hit of the game for the Irish. Fastball outside corner in there for a strike. This is the shortstop, number 3, Zach Duscher, planning to play some baseball next year at Dubuque. So far you have 1 run with 1 hit and 1 error this inning for Rosemount. Fastball makes Lunenburg have to scoot over to keep it in front to keep Garrity at first. 2-1 count, 1 down. 1-1 is our score here in the top of the 4th. Mitchell's pitch fouled off, out of play. Now 2-2. Yeah, and kind of what we mentioned earlier, Skip, in between innings. If you had the bingo card, it's fly balls to right and it's ground balls to third.
Yeah, hot grounders down the third baseline, fly balls to right. Sounds like my golf game.
Okay, there we go. Off the tee or just in general?
Off the tee,
okay.
normally, yes.
Normally, okay. 3-2, full count. Sophomore pitching is Will Mitchell. At the plate is the senior shortstop, Zach Duscher. Fouled off as they sent Garrity on the 3-2 pitch. So the first time we've seen the Irish start the run game today. Eagan out hitting the Irish 3-2. Both teams have an error on the board, and we're evened up at 1s for the score. Full count. Throw over by Mitchell, and Garrity gets back safely.
Looked like they had Garrity leaning just a little bit there. He did a nice job recovering, but that first move he made was towards second base.
Right. So, it's one of those where you can't predict it. As we watch, the fastball misses up for Mitchell's second walk of the day. And that'll bring up the catcher, Steven Nazirka. One of those things where it's like if you just waited a half a second, right? You get him leaning even a little bit more, and then now you probably pick him off. So 1 down. Number 7 hitter in the lineup is the catcher, Steven Nazirka. We have Garrity on second. Duscher at first. I believe Duscher has 2 walks on the day. He has both walks?
That is correct. Yep,
okay.
Both walks. Got stranded at first base back in the second inning when Rosemount had 2 on. Both runners stranded after a couple of fly balls. It was all 3 fly balls that inning.
Yeah, and after a few fastballs missing, few balls out of the zone for Mitchell that sent Lunenburg out to the mound, and that's actually going to bring also the pitching coach, Luke Degerman, out there for a whole infield conversation, quick huddle. Not only go over the planned pitch attempt here, but also make sure that everybody's positioned in the right spots on the defensive side. 72-degree day. Around 9 miles an hour is our breeze. It's kind of hard to say from our angle here. And now it looks like it's kind of wind coming in from right field, kind of straight at home plate a little bit.
Yeah, it does feel like it's right in our faces as we're right behind the home plate here. But it's a pleasant breeze versus the gale force winds we've had in previous games. Yep,
a lot of confidence in the sophomore Will Mitchell. This is his 6th start of the season, so no action in the bullpen yet for the Wildcats. He's been in these situations before. That one's fall back, so now 1-1 is our count. 1 down here. Catcher is Steven Nazirka at the plate. What did Nazirka do his first at-bat?
Second inning with 2 on, he hit a 1-0 count, fly ball to right field for the out.
I mean, it's pretty safe to say we can guess what the guys did if they didn't strike out, right? It's either going to be a ground ball to third or a fly ball to right, right?
Pretty much. I mean,
for the most part,
the Vegas odds would be quite strong on one of those 2 outcomes.
Correct. Eckerly's had 1 ground ball his way. Cunningham had 1 on that RBI single that he was playing in on the grass. I hopped over his glove. 1-1 pitch by Mitchell. Slider up high for a strike. 1-2 now, our count. 1 down. Rosemount trying to tack on to take an early lead here in the bottom of the 4th. So 1-2 is our count. Garrity is at second. Duscher at first. Mitchell's pitch outside misses. 2-2 now, evened up.
Just one strikeout today so far for Mitchell. That was the first batter of the game. Now would be a great time for number 2.
Yeah. Yeah, you're working towards the bottom of the lineup. Popped up, but behind us to be foul out of territory, close to the Eagan truck, which gives us a perfect time to thank all the wonderful people at Eagan TV. I'll give you our lineup today. It's Tim as our director and producer. Nick is on replay. Kevin is on graphics. And our crew out in the elements on a lovely day. Max, Connor, and Jared running the cameras. As always, want to thank the wonderful crew at Eagan TV for all the help that they do for the high school and local sports, especially for the Eagan Wildcats. Allowing grandparents, relatives, others to watch the game live. A little excuse me, foul ball. But providing, I think this is our 5th or 6th game already on Eagan TV, which is awesome. I think 8 years ago when I first started doing PA announcing, when Coach Butler took over for his first year, I think we did 1 or 2 games. So it's kind of morphed into, a 4 to 6 game schedule. 2-2 pitch, slide piece, and Skip called it for the big strikeout. As Mitchell gets Nazirka to chase that slider for the second out of the inning. As we see Colby Liebert, the designated hitter, step in. One of the 2 left-handed swingers for the Irish. So 2 down.
Great pitch there by Mitchell. Huge strike 3.
Ground ball, big hop. That's going to get through past Eckerly. Garrity's going to come home. Here's the throw by Boyd. Cut off by Hyveri. 1 pitch. Swinging for the second run. An RBI single by Liebert out to right field. That's the second hit. Second hit of the inning for Rosemount, as well as the second run.
Yeah, that grounder, as you can see, just had eyes almost within reach of Eckerly at second base. Couldn't quite get there. Couldn't get even a glove on it to slow it down. Unfortunate for the Wildcats. 2-1 lead now for the Irish.
Fastball misses out by Mitchell. Yeah, well, it wasn't hit the hardest, but, Eckerly had a lot of range to go to get it. It was hit more towards the first base side than it was to the second base side, right, Skip? And Eckerly looked like he was about a half of a step away from potentially fielding that. It would have been a bang-bang play at first, so there's no guarantee. But if he kept it in, then you would have bases loaded with 2 outs.
Exactly, and if the first baseman isn't holding him on, then he's
right.
got probably an easy play to field that himself.
But then it comes down to a little bit of the race between the pitcher and the hitter, right? Who gets to the base first. Fastball misses out. So we got runners in the corner. You got Duscher, the shortstop, who reached on a walk, his second walk of the day. He's on third. And with the RBI single was Liebert, the designated hitter, is sitting at first. Dane Roback is the right fielder in the number 9 spot. 2-0 count, fouled off, so now 2-1. Dane's set to play some football at Gustavus, and he's playing right field today. But before we saw that base hit, I was just saying that once again, Eagan TV doing an excellent job. Just awesome that they're able to provide live action to so many fans to watch. 2-hopper to Cunningham, throw is across the diamond. Excellent dig by Hyveri. Cunningham showing off the arm, but in doing so, threw a skip pass, even though he knows Skip's on the color today. So for Rosemount in the 4th, 2 runs on 2 hits, 1 error by Eagan and 2 left on. Rosemount takes the lead. It's 2-1. Back in 60 seconds for Eagan to come up in the bottom of the 4th on Eagan TV.
Do you want to go grab some frozen yogurt tonight?
Maybe another time. Thanks, though.
Hey, Charles, how do you like your burger?
Ooh, well done, I hope. I love this tree. Hey, honey. What do you thought we'd try something new?
Family art hour.
Come on, sit down.
Okay, guys, what do you think? That is you.
Oh, you got jokes. You're funny.
That is you, and that is your son, and your other son. Learn about adopting a teen from foster care. you can't imagine the reward. Visit adoptuskids.org.
2-1 is our score. Rosemount scoring 2 runs on 2 hits that last inning to take a lead. Bottom of the 4th, senior second baseman Ryan Eckerly with a big cut on Timmerman. Quickly 0-1 here. Eckerly, double on the season, 260 on base, 5 RBIs, 9 runs, and is a threat to steal 5 for 6 on the season. Foul back. Timmerman seems to be getting in a nice little groove here now for Rosemount.
Yeah, he's in a groove. We've seen that starting the last couple of innings, and now he's got a 2-1 lead. So we'll see if Eagan can throw him off his game a little bit here in the bottom of the 4th.
Other thing I've noticed too is he's been slowing up his kind of changing his delivery speeds a little bit with no runners on. Like that time, if you would have noticed, he brought his high leg kick up, but then kind of hesitated a little bit longer just to throw the timing off on the hitter, just a little, just enough. So that isn't, 1, 2, 3 ball, 1, 2, 3 ball, 1, 2, 3 ball. Ball meaning like when it's coming out of his hand every single time. And that's what you're starting to see. I mean, a lot of pitchers are starting to realize that that's just as important as, how sharp your curveball is, right?
So you're saying, changing speed, not just the pitches, but changing speed and delivery, changing your motion can throw hitters off.
Yep, absolutely. Eckerly with the hot shot out to right for a base hit to lead off the 4th inning. 5 for 6 on the season, stolen base. We'll see if he takes off.
Nice piece of hitting there by Eckerly, pulling that one to right field. Easy base hit there.
1 hop to Roback. That's going to bring up the sophomore designated hitter, Aiden Canty. Shows bunt, but Timmerman throws over as Eckerly dives in safe. So Canty might have given away, but that's all right.
Last time this exact situation was there, and we talked about it. Eckerly took off, and while Canty ended up grounding out to third, stayed out of the double play.
Yep, correct. So Eagan now back on top with 4 hits to Rosemount's 3. Balls in the dirt, swung on, but that's going to send Eckerly to second as that got past Nazirka. So in a roundabout way, Canty kind of did his job by getting him over to second.
Yeah, probably didn't need to swing at that one, but I understand that, batters will do that to try and help the runner, throw off the catcher a little bit.
I mean, this thing was well low.
Also looking like my golf swing.
Right.
Yeah, missed it completely.
So I will say that a little known fact is you can hit a batted ball before the plate.
You can?
Yes. Canty swinging. You can do it, though. It's very rare to see. But Steve Butler, when I played college ball with him at Concordia St. Paul, we were playing a game at the Metrodome. Our first baseman, Travis Anderson, was up at the plate. There was a hit and run was put on, and a ball skipped in front of home plate, and he ended up, swinging to protect the runner, right, as we watched Timmerman's pitch. That's going to be fouled straight back past us over the press box, onto the roof. 0-2's our count. So anyways, he's our first baseman's protecting the runner that's stealing. In doing so, perfectly times up the skip ball, and it's at the Metrodome, so you're getting a lot better bounce than you are here. We'll finish our story in a second here. 0-2 count, Eckerly at second. Canty fouls it off. In doing so to protect the runner, he completely times it out perfect and shoots a base hit to right field on a ball that bounced probably 2 feet in front of home plate.
That's some impressive hand-eye coordination there. I mean, you're probably doing it again just to protect the runner. You end up getting a hit out of the deal. That's well played.
It's very rare to see, like I said, but it is a kind of an unknown fact that you rarely ever see it, but it is actually possible. Big curveball by Timmerman to retire the designated hitter Canty, and a huge out to keep Eckerly at second. Senior shortstop is Matt Cunningham. Yeah, excellent curveball. Yeah, for sure. And you could tell too, Canty, I think, had an idea that it was coming. You could tell the way that he kept his hands back. He didn't get his hips, and he didn't start rotating too early. So he was staying back on that curve. It just Timmerman's curveball's been getting sharper and sharper and sharper as the game has been going on, and just kind of had that one drop below the barrel of Canty.
So while we have a little bit of a break here, talk to me about the difference between a slider and a curveball.
Yeah, so I mean, a slider tends to be speed-wise, a lot of times, like on the major side, and obviously we're talking on the high-level side, guys' sliders can be, right next to what their fastball speed is, right? So if a guy's throwing 97 for a fastball, their slider might be 93, 94, right? Slider, your release point is going to be kind of your 2 fingers, and it's more of a, how do you want to say it? If you're looking at a clock, it's more of like 9 to 3 or 3 to 9 straight across to get that spin, to have it, go away from the batter, go away from the hitter if it's a right-handed pitcher pitching to a righty. And then if you're looking at a clock, most curveballs are going to be more of like a, some guys will throw a 12-6, which is a straight drop, but you're going to see more of like a 10, 11 o'clock to like 4 or 5, and that's more of a snap over the top, whereas a slider is more of a flick across, is the way kind of you would want to kind of teach it. The slider is a lot tougher on pitchers' elbows, and that's what that's a lot of the talk right now in the majors, is that there's so many elbow injuries and so much Tommy John, and it's primarily due to the slider, and it's also due to some of these guys throwing like those splinkers, which is like a slider and a splitter. Ground ball hit over to Hansen, relayed to Jappel in time to retire the senior Cunningham. But I will say this. What I've noticed calling games for Eagan, not just Eagan, but the other teams in the South Suburban, is you're starting to see a lot more pitchers that are fastball slider pitchers than they were back in the day, in our era of, fastball, curveball, changeup pitchers.
Yeah, you get a great pitcher with a great slider, and they're almost unhittable.
Yeah.
I mean, it's such a hard pitch to hit.
Correct.
Like you said, because it's coming in that fast, and yet it moves.
Yep. 2 down. Ryan Eckerly now at third. 2-1 is our score. Rosemount Irish leading. Joe Anderson, the senior left fielder, at the plate. Timmerman's pitch in there for a strike on the off speed. 1-1. Yeah, and I think too, a lot of the hitters, the thing too now is that because so many teams and so many pitchers are throwing sliders, a lot of the hitters are a lot better and more adept to recognizing it and hitting sliders, and then just trying to react to the fastball, right? That's what you kind of always want to teach the younger guys, like once they get to high school and stuff like that, is, go with the off speed and just rely on your, your eye recognition and your reaction on the fastball. You want to pick it up, yes, but, if you know where the slider should be, then you should be able to at least, be able to catch up or react to the heater once it's being thrown. But that heater by Timmerman gets past Anderson. So 2s across the board. 2-2 count, 2 down. Rosemount leading 2-1. Bottom of the 4th. Eckerly reached on a leadoff single but is on third. Timmerman looking to strand Eckerly. Pitch to Anderson. Heater is up. 3-2 now is our count. Eagan leading with 4 hits to Rosemount's 3. Both teams have an error on the board. 1 blemish by each team. Anderson has plenty of speed, as he's 6 for 6 on the season coming into today, stolen bases. So a walk could be deadly, because they will more than likely be sending Anderson in motion, and that could potentially set up the old first and third hot box action to see if they can try to steal a run by getting Eckerly in.
Just the second walk of the game yielded so far by Timmerman. He's been around the plate all day, throwing 77 pitches thus far.
Okay. But to Eagan's credit, there was an inning there where they were kind of jumping on the first pitch. For the most part, though, they've worked the count and tried to work that pitching count as well for Timmerman. Anderson at first, Eckerly at third. Gage showing bunt. Anderson takes off. Throw's going to go straight down to third. It's going to go off of Eckerly, which is going to send Eckerly in to score to tie it up. And Anderson scoots over to third. So a stolen base by Anderson. Rosemount had it planned out that they were going to throw to third regardless. A strong throw would have been tough to still get Eckerly, but that throw did kind of graze Eckerly's back, it looked like, and he was in the field of play, or stayed on the outside lines.
Eagan running themselves into the game-tying run.
2-2's our score. Gage, after we just talked about him not dragging, shows one off here with 2 outs.
Well, he's got the speed, and he lays that down. He's in a great position to not only get on to first base with a hit, but get the run home.
Right. But now quickly Timmerman with a 0-2 count to the leadoff hitter, Ty Gage leading the team in RBIs with 11 on the season. Joe Anderson reached on a excellent at-bat with a walk, stole second, came over to third on that errant throw by Mazurka. Popped up. This should potentially stay in play for the first baseman, Jappel, and he just up against the fence, unable to corral it in. Might have ran into the sun as well as he was tracking that. He's about a foot away from the fence, Skip.
Yeah, he could have made it. Clearly knew he was getting close to that fence and just misjudged it a little bit.
And that sun might have been right in line with him too, like, kind of when it reached its apex. So 0-2 count to the junior center fielder, Ty Gage. Joe Anderson, the left fielder, is at third. 2-2 is our score. Timmerman on the mound. His pitch, fastball, gonna get past the catcher Nazirka. Anderson's gonna scoot in for the third run of the day and the second run of this inning. Fastball outside that got past Nazirka to plate another run for the Wildcats.
We talk about Eagan running themselves into that first run. The aggressive good base running also yields run number 2 here. Is what we didn't talk about maybe enough is that getting over to third after that stolen base and that wild pitch. I mean, nice job, heady base running there. That led directly to the go-ahead run.
Correct. So Timmerman throws a dirty curve to strike out Gage for the third out of the inning, but Eagan does attack with 2 runs on 1 hit. There was 1 error and nobody left on. Eagan takes the lead, up 3-2, back in 60 seconds as Rosemount comes to the plate in the top of the 5th at Wildcat Park.
You've done the hard part. You quit smoking. Now do the easy part and get scanned for lung cancer. If you smoked, you may still be at risk, but early detection could save your life. Talk to your doctor and learn more at savedbythescan.org.
How you holding up? Nothing wrong with getting help.
If I promise to look into it, will you drop it and help me build this fence?
Now you need my help.
If you or a veteran you know needs support, don't wait. Reach out. Find resources at va.gov/reach.
Thank you so much.
Fostering a pet for a friend or neighbor can keep families together. Learn more at petsandpeopletogether.org.
Back here at Wildcat Park, I'm Casey Lux, joined by Skip Newton as my color man today. Again, what is this, your 3rd, 4th game of the year, Skip? On
I
ETV?
believe this is number 4.
Okay. Yeah, it makes sense. You missed 1 at home, and then we had the co-op with Burnsville last week at Al Magnet. Leadoff hitter is Will Peruka, the center fielder. Ball's in the dirt by Mitchell.
Peruka 0 for 2 today. Struck out looking in the first, flew out to the right fielder in the 3rd.
Fastball misses up. Starting to see a little bit of action in the Eagan bullpen. Looks like they have Kevin Kemp and Jackson Tasalis both out there to kind of stretch it out a little bit. Fastball misses in, so quickly 3-0. So Rosemount trying to get that leadoff runner on and even this thing up or even take the lead. Both teams scored 2 runs in the 4th. There's a fastball in there for a strike, 3-1 now our count. Eagan out hitting the Irish 4-3. 2 blemishes for Rosemount and 1 for Eagan. Cunningham showing off the range, but throw not in time. Gets past a big turn, but Hivery's not on first. Nice job by the catcher Lundenborg to back it up. Excellent range by Cunningham to cut that ball off from getting out to center. Had to kind of rush his throw, and in doing so, a 1-hop kind of past Hivery up the right field line.
Yeah, there you see the range. Nice hop. Just, again, rush the throw. I think he would have had him if he'd have thrown that one a little higher.
It would have been kind of bang-bang. I think it would have been a close play. Obviously, you know, Peroka, speedster, playing football at St. John's next year. And he's taking off on the first pitch on a slider. Benito Santiago throw from Lunenburg. And for the youngsters out there, that means not even having to get up out of your stance. Just throw it, drop to your knees, and trust your arm strength. So Peruka gets the first stolen base of the day for the Irish. Mitchell does get that slider across to Cal Ronay, the left fielder. Fastball hit into the gap. It's going to be cut off by Gage, but that's going to bring in the speedster Peruka to tie it up at 3s. Irish answer the call. 2 batters in here to the top of the 5th. On the RBI single by Cal Ronay, the left fielder. So Peruka gets on an infield hit, steals second, and comes around to score on that base hit by Ronay.
Yeah, he jumped all over that one. That one was tagged fairly well. Again, nice job by the center fielder, Gage, getting over to cut that one off and hold it to just a single.
Yeah, and a strong throw to second, right, to keep him at first. Keep the double play intact. Nobody out here. Sophomore Will Mitchell on the mound. Ty Hansen, one of the 2 lefties for the Irish, up at the plate. If I remember correctly, Hansen led off last inning, got on, and started that rally.
Yeah, he reached on an error, the diving play to third base. Ground out to third in the first inning.
Tells you that Mitchell's been pitching lefties outside. And the Rosemount hitters have been going with the pitch. Ball blocked by Lunenburg. Now 2-1. Nobody out here in the top of the 5th. 3-3 is our score. We're even up on the board, Skip. 3s for the run. 4 hits apiece, 2 errors apiece. 1-1 count. Mitchell. Hansen. Shot out to left field, and Anderson's comes in about 5 steps to make the catch to retire. Hansen, Tyler Jappel now will step in, the first baseman. So 1 out. Ronay at first with the RBI single to tie it up here in the top of the 5th.
Jappel 1 for 2 so far today with a single back in the 2nd inning and then a ground out to second in the 4th.
Okay. Mitchell's pitch, slider, cuts across the top of the zone for a strike, 0-1. Ronay checking signs from head coach Chris Swanson. Potentially maybe a hit and run, or see if we send him in motion. As Jappel's done a nice job of under control and handling the bat in the zone here today. Oh, 1 pitch by Mitchell. Another slider up in the zone for a strike. So quickly 0-2. Ronay at first. Little action in the bullpen. Tassalis and Kemp getting loose. Top of the 5th, 3-3's our score. There goes Ronay. Ground ball is the King. King fields it. Throw across the diamond to Hivery in time for the 2nd out of the inning. Jappel does his job, though. Does get Ronay over to scoring position. Bringing up Christian Garrity, the 3rd baseman.
Real nice play there. Once again, we've seen this all day from King. He's only had the 1 bad throw, but otherwise playing a real clean third base.
Absolutely, for sure. And he has for most part of the season too. And you know, it's, you know, third base is an important position. I mean, I know everybody thinks of, you know, shortstop and center field, but you know, having a guy that you can put at third all season long, you know, that isn't maybe a pitcher that you have to rotate another guy in if he comes in and pitches. Just have him play that spot and hold it down. You know, and they're put into a lot of different scenarios, right? Whether that's playing up on a, you know, 1st and 3rd situation, playing up on a bunt situation, right? Drag bunts. There's a lot more to third base than, you know, the name of hot corner just meaning that, you know, hot shots that you have to take bad bounces off your chest, right? Fastball misses out.
And you also need to have a good arm, right? I mean, you got to be able to
Exactly.
get it across there quickly on those tough plays.
Yep.
Garrity up now, singled and scored in the 4th, flew out to center field back in the 2nd, 1 for 2.
1-1, there's our count, 2 down.
There's also
Cal
a run.
Ronay at second base had the RBI single to tie the game here in the top of the 5th. Just misses Garrity, on that inside slider. What were you say, Skip?
I was just going to say that single scored a run, also knocked in a run as well. I want to make sure got that RBI credit in there.
Oh, we're not shortchanging anybody on Eagan TV, Skip. You know that. Been doing that all year. 2-1 pitch by Mitchell. Fouled towards the Rosemount dugout off the Q-tip of the bat. 2-2 is our count, 2 down. 3-3 is our score. Top of the 5th, 72-degree beautiful day here at Wildcat Park in Eagan. South Suburban Conference matchup. Mitchell, foul right back at us. Good battle here by Garrity. I felt like Garrity's last at-bat was like first pitch swinging that he got on, right?
That is correct.
Yeah. So we know he's up there ready to hit. There's a base hit to right field. We're going to see if we have a play here. Boyd's going to come in. Here's his throw. It's strong to Lundenborg, but pulls him off the base, off of home plate. So a big 2-out hit by Garrity, his second hit of the day, to bring in the second run of the 5th inning and give the Irish a 4-3 lead.
Perfect hit, right field. Strong throw, just a little high. No chance for the tag at home.
I mean, the throw beat him. It was just up the first base, towards the Rosemount dugout. I think that throw would have beat him if it would have been, on target. Would have had a bang-bang play at home. Mitchell's fastball in there for a strike. So 4-3 is our score with Rosemount answering with 2 more runs here in the 5th. They got 2 in the 4th and now 2 in the top of the 5th, taking a 4-3 lead, now out-hitting the Wildcats 5-4 for the day. Shortstop is Zach Duscher, has 2 walks on the day. I think he's kind of anxious to swing that bat now. Third time up.
You would think so, right? He's seen all the pitches.
And there he does. Fouled off quickly, 0-2. Do you have Mitchell's pitch count, or you have an idea?
I do. He's sitting right at about 99 pitches.
Okay. Yep. So, yeah, if he gets through this at-bat, then more than likely his day will be done on the mound. 0-2 pitch, fastball up. Duscher, the starting shortstop, playing baseball at Dubuque next season. Garrity at first with a big RBI here in the 5th. Base hit to right. Strong arm by Boyd, but was off target, allowing Rone to score from second. Fouled out of play towards right field. 1-2 count, 2 down. Top of the 5th. Rosemount leading 4-3 against the Eagan Wildcats here at Wildcat Park on Eagan TV. Curious to see if they'll put Garrity in motion, but they don't. Fastball misses out, 2-2 count. And sometimes Skip too with 2 outs. It's even if it's not your fastest guy, you might put him in motion just to get that middle infield to start moving maybe towards the base. If they don't hold, that can open up a open slot for a routine ground ball to turn into a base hit.
Yeah, cause a little confusion.
Right.
You never know what might happen.
So 3-2 count. Now more than likely the play will be to first for the infield, with Garrity taking off on the pitch. Mitchell takes a check over to first as Garrity slides in safely. Duscher at the plate.
Is it still common with 2 outs and a full count to hold a runner in first base, or typically do you see the first baseman come off?
It can be. And Mitchell will walk Duscher. So Duscher doesn't have a actual at-bat today, as 3 at-bats, 3 walks. And that very well could be we'll see, it could be the end of the day for Mitchell. He's getting close to that pitch count limit, but he can start the at-bat before 106.
And he's right at 104, according to my stats.
Yep.
And I think I'm pretty good there. So
I think so too, because I think we would see the, pitching coach and, bullpen guys getting ready to come in. So I think they're going to allow him to pitch to the number 7 hitter catcher, Steven Nazirka. What's Nazirka done today?
0 for 2 so far. He flew out to right field and then struck out swinging in the 4th.
Okay, so Garrity is at second. He had the big RBI single, 2-out RBI single to give Rosemount a 4-3 lead here in the top of the 5th. Dusher at first has 3 walks on the day. Nazirka, the catcher, at the plate. Mitchell's fastball is up, misses. 1-0 count, 2 down. It's going to give a timeout as the head coach, Steve Butler's going to come to the mound. We'll see, very well could be the end of the day for Will Mitchell. Interested to also see what moves they're going to make, because I'm assuming that they want to keep Mitchell's bat in the lineup. So I don't know if that means Mitchell might go out to right, since Boyd was already getting DH for. And I don't know, we'll see here. There could be a whole lot of action and movement. Why don't we do this? It looks like it'll be Jackson Tasalis is going to come in. We'll throw it to the truck for 60 seconds. We'll come back. We'll give you some stats on the reliever Jackson Tasalis, the junior, and then also keep an eye on the fielder. So back in 60 seconds, Rosemount 4-3 lead, 2 down here in the top of the 5th.
Do you want to go grab some frozen yogurt tonight?
Maybe another time. Thanks, though.
Hey, Charles, how do you like your burger?
Ooh, well done, I hope. I love this tree. Hey, honey. We thought we'd try something new.
Family art hour.
Come on, sit down.
Okay, guys, what do you think? That is you.
Oh, you got jokes. You're funny.
That is you, and that is your son, and your other son. Learn about adopting a teen from foster care. You can't imagine the reward. Visit adoptuskids.org.
It's something about having that piece of paper. Some people think that's worth more than my skills.
I've run this place for 20 years, but I still need to prove that I'm more than what you see on paper.
You just gotta be so good they can't ignore you.
It's the way my mind works. I have a very mechanical brain.
Analytics and empathy. That's how I've gained clients.
I am more.
I'm more
than who I am on paper.
There he is, the junior, Jackson Tasalis, jumps in at the 1-0 count to the number 7 hitter, which is Steven Nazirka, the catcher. So 1-1 quickly the count. As far as the defensive changes, all we saw, or all that really was happening, was Eckerly slides over from second to short. Cunningham comes out. Will Mitchell goes from pitcher to second base, across the diamond. Tasalis' pitch is fouled. I think Hyveri's going to run out of real estate, which he does, but quickly 1-2. Tasalis is a strike thrower, and that's the one thing that I've been very impressed with him. Why don't you run us through some stats here real quick?
11 innings pitched coming into this game, 2 earned runs, 3 walks, 13 strikeouts in those 11 innings, and he's up ahead right 1-2 now on this batter.
Little pickoff attempt, and give us that pencil-thin ERA, because I think it's the best on the team.
1.27, so a brilliant ERA there.
Yeah, and Tasalis is primarily a fastball slider pitcher, but he does kind of take something off his slider. So he kind of has 2 different speeds of his slider. So the slower one looks like a curveball, but it still has late movement. And there's that slider we just talked about to Nazirka for strike 3. So Tasalis comes in, does the job as he strikes out Nazirka. But with that being said, Rosemount, 2 runs on 2 hits, no errors, and 2 left on. They take a 4-3 lead. Back in 60 seconds for the bottom of the 5th as the Wildcats come up here at Wildcat Park on Eagan TV.
You know you don't have to wear your PT gear anymore, right?
It's comfortable.
So how's civilian life treating you?
It's fine.
When I got out, I didn't want to admit that there was anything wrong because I felt like a failure. And then I realized, like, there's nothing to be ashamed of.
So I started talking to someone.
Maybe you are fine. But if you're not, it's okay.
Thank you.
If you or a veteran you know needs support, don't wait. Reach out. Find resources at va.gov/reach.
Donating pet food can keep families together. Pets and people belong together. Learn more at petsandpeopletogether.org.
That's a look at Joe Timmerman, today's starting pitcher from the Rosemount Irish. He's gone the whole game. Give us a little rundown where we're at here, Skip, for Timmerman.
So far, 4 innings pitched, 81 pitches, and like we said earlier, he's finding his groove. He's only walked, I can tell just looking at my sheet, 2 batters, and given up 4 hits with several strikeouts. I'll give you a count here.
Yeah, well, you're tallying that. We got the junior third baseman, which is Theo King. How many strikeouts for Timmerman?
6 strikeouts.
Okay. So pitching with the lead now here, 4-3. He had the lead after the top of the 4th, and that's when Rosemount took a 2-1 lead, and then Eagan responded with 2 runs in the bottom of the 4th to then take a 3-2 lead. So we'll see if it follows suit for Eagan. King's shot to right field towards Roback. Plays it down the line in fair territory, glides over for the catch for the first out of the inning to get out the junior third baseman. Will Mitchell's going to step in, the sophomore. Now he's started today on the mound and then moving over to second base as we see Roback glides over, catches it in fair territory for the first out of the inning.
King now 1 for 3. He did get a hit, stolen base, and a run scored back in the 3rd. Mitchell has 1 hit, stolen base, stranded at second in the 1st inning, struck out looking in the 3rd.
Swinging first pitch on the curveball, fouls it back. 1 out here in the bottom of the 5th, 4-3 is our score. As we mentioned, Mitchell leading the team in hitting as well as on base percentage, 405 as far as his average, 458 on base. Fastball outside corner there for a strike, 7 RBIs, has 3 stolen bases as well on the season. Quickly, Timmerman now 0-2 to Mitchell. Bottom of the 5th, 4-3 is our score. Misses on the inside, 1-2. Rosemount, still their same starting lineup. No substitutions here quite yet. Curveball misses out. 2-2 now our count. The sophomore catcher, Brandon Lunenborg, the cleanup hitter on deck for the Wildcats. Timmerman's pitch to Mitchell. Fastball fouled away. And no action yet in the Rosemount bullpen as well, as Timmerman, as we talked about, very efficient with his pitch count today for the Irish. And there's strike 3, so that's strikeout number 7, I believe, right, Skip?
That is correct.
Okay. So Brandon Lunenberg, and that, and a lot of his looking strikes would have been fastballs on the outside corner.
Yeah, he's doing a nice job of hitting that corner specifically. Lunenberg comes up, he walked in the 1st, was stranded at 1st, got a base hit in the 3rd, and was caught stealing to end the inning.
Yeah, and that would have been the courtesy runner, so that would have been, I believe it was Jackson Dwyer that was running for him, so that doesn't go against Lunenborg, but in his slot. And then the swinging strikes primarily today have been on Timmerman's, strong, hard curveballs that he's been throwing as well. So it's kind of been fastballs outside corners of the knees for the strike 3 looking, and the sharp curveball for swinging strike 3s. 1-1 count to Lunenborg. The sophomore misses on the outside corner. 2-1. Quickly 2 outs here for the Irish as they try to get some momentum to roll back in the dugout as they took that 4-3 lead with 2 runs in the top of the 5th. Big piece of hitting on a 2-out RBI single by Garrity to take the lead. Big swing by Lunenborg to even up the count at 2-2 on a fastball. Rosemount comes into today 4-11 in the conference. Eagan comes into today 6-9. So Eagan, after today, 2 more conference games, 1 non-conference game left in their season. There's another strike 3. Timmerman Second strikeout of the inning, both of them being on the outside corner at the knees. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left on for Eagan. Rosemount leading 4-3 back in 60 seconds for the top of the sixth with Rosemount coming to the plate. South Suburban Conference action here on Eagan TV.
Do you want to go grab some frozen yogurt tonight?
Maybe another time. Thanks, though.
Hey, Charles, how do you like your burger?
Ooh, well done, I hope. I love this tree. Hey, honey. We thought we'd try something new.
Family art hour.
Come on, sit down.
Okay, guys, what do you think? That is you.
Oh, you got jokes. You're funny.
That is you, and that is your son, and your other son.
Learn about adopting a teen from foster care. You can't imagine the reward. Visit adoptuskids.org.
How you holding up? Nothing wrong with getting help.
If I promise to look into it, will you drop it and help me build this fence?
Now you need my help.
If you or a veteran you know needs support, don't wait. Reach out. Find resources at va.gov/reach.
Taking a look at the Rosemount dugout as they're set to come to the plate here in the top of the sixth. A little Quiet Riot playing in the background, right, Skip?
Music's been top-notch, as always.
You're excited. As long as they stay away from Baby Shark today, I think we'll be okay. Bring up the left-handed hitting Colby Liebert, the designated hitter. One of the two lefties for the Irish, as Tasalis doesn't waste any time to get that first strike across. What's Liebert been doing today for the Irish?
1 for 2. He had an RBI single in the 2-run fourth inning.
Okay, fastball misses out by Tasalis. Nice thing I like about Tasalis, too, is he just works really quick on the mound, throws a lot of strikes. There isn't a lot of movement, so after he throws, he basically just backs up and gets right back to the rubber. Pop up to King, and he makes the play in foul territory for the first out of the inning for the Wildcats. Bringing up the number 9 hitter, Dane Roback, the right fielder, playing some football like Gustavus next year. Yeah, just an easy little pop up there for King.
One of the easiest plays he'll have. Roback coming up, he's 0 for 2, a couple of groundouts.
Okay, probably to third.
1 to third, 1 to short.
Okay, there we go. As we mentioned, after that pitching change, as we watch a slider in there for a strike by Tasalis, after Mitchell came out of the game, Mitchell then went to second, and then they slid Eckerly from second over to short, and then Matt Cunningham came out of the game. Foul back quickly, 0-2. Tasalis to the number 9 hitter, Dane Roback. A few other guys for the Irish plan on playing some baseball next year. Landon Boysen going to play at Upper Iowa. Ball hit down the line for a base hit. Two-hopper to Anderson, should keep Roback at first, which he does. So a single off of Tasalis. And we'll see if they send the speedster Roback in motion. Now with the leadoff hitter Peroka, the center fielder, coming to the plate. And then also Matthias Strunk is going to play baseball next year at Bethel. So just kind of going with that pitch. Inside fastball, went out to left. First pitch swinging is going to be fouled out of play. One out.
Saul's throwing a lot of strikes, so I would imagine that the Irish are going to adjust quickly and say, guys, we need to swing the bat here.
Yep. And I would also think that they want to try to jump on fastball as opposed to the late movement that he has on his slider. Also throws, a slider that he takes a little bit off. He kind of has a look of a changeup, but because it's still a slider, it still has that away movement to right-handed hitters. So Rosemount now leading in the hit column with 6 hits to Eagan's 4. Still leading the game 4-3. There's that slider. Hot shot. Great play by Eckerly. Steps on the base. Throw to first to Highbury. What a pick by Eckerly, flashing leather up the middle. Momentum takes him to second. Steps on the base unassisted, and a strong throw to Highbury. to retire the speedster Peroka. No runs on one hit, no errors, nobody left on. 4-3's our score back in 60 seconds as Eagan comes to the plate in the bottom of the 6th on Eagan TV.
You've done the hard part. You quit smoking. Now do the easy part and get scanned for lung cancer. If you smoked, you may still be at risk, but early detection could save your life. Talk to your doctor and learn more at savedbythescan.org.
Back here, 4-3's our score. Metallica playing in the background. Bottom of the 6th. Here's your upcoming coverage on Eagan TV. You got boys lacrosse, Prior Lake at Eagan tomorrow, 7:30. You got some softball, Lakeville North at Eagan on Wednesday at 2:30. Last but not least, girls lacrosse, Apple Valley travels to Eagan Thursday. So a busy day for Eagan TV as they are here for a little bit of everything. They go baseball, then they go boys lacrosse, then they go softball, and then they go girls lacrosse. And that's just what I was talking about earlier about thanking Eagan TV, because not only do they not, it's not just baseball that they're covering, Skip. It's lacrosse, it's softball. I think they do a track and field usually once a year as well. So they are covering all the bases when it comes to Eagan Wildcat athletics.
Yeah, and they do it all year round, right? I mean, in the fall they're covering boys and girls soccer, they're covering football, they're covering volleyball. Winter they've got basketball, they've got hockey. I mean,
Correct.
It's pretty much everything across the board.
Got a little bit of a conference here between first base coach Paul Weinberg and the two umpires. Unfortunately, we don't have a live mic or a hot mic in there to hear what the conversation's about. But with that being said, Timmerman is back on the mound. I think what do you have him at now coming in this inning for a pitch count?
95 pitches so far, and I believe he had, his 8th strikeout last inning, so 8 strikeouts in 5 innings.
So 95 pitches. We haven't seen any action in the Rosemount bullpen. What that kind of leads me to believe is that there's a potential that more than likely it'll be a position player that would come in to throw, and that it's already kind of loose, but we'll see. There could have been some throws in between innings when they were batting, but we weren't taking a look down there. I think everything is somewhat figured out, and maybe we can play baseball again. And with that being said, it'll be junior first baseman Tony Hiveri will step to the plate. What's Tony done here today?
He is 0 for 2. He struck out swinging in the first, and then was at the plate to end the 3rd inning.
Okay. Fastball misses low by Timmerman. Excellent day at the plate. I think we're up to 8 strikeouts for Timmerman, I believe, after he had those 2 looking strikes last inning.
Yeah, 8 strikeouts with a couple of walks and just 4 hits.
Correct. Fastball on the outside corner in there for a strike. 1-1 evens up the count to the first baseman, Hiveri. Hiveri has a home run on the season. That was last week in Burnsville. 6 RBIs, 327 on base percentage. Fastball misses up. And then also, big, strong kid, Tony Hiveri, if he does get on first, 5 for 7 when it comes to stolen bases this year. 2-1 count. Timmerman's pitch. Big swing. Fouled away. Yeah, it was fouled. We get it. We appreciate it, but we get it. I think everybody knew it was foul, and it was a strike anyways. But you know what? The base ump hadn't had a chance to, let his voice be heard yet, right?
That's right.
Muzzled up to the middle, caught in the air by the second baseman, Hansen, for the first out of the inning, bringing up the shortstop now, Ryan Eckerly, the senior. Sawed off.
Another easy play there. Yeah. Can of corn.
Yeah, kind of fastball inside that sawed him off. Inside part of the bat. Wasn't able to muscle it, out to the outfield.
Odds are good if that's a wooden bat, that thing's broken.
Very, very true. 1 out now. Timmerman's pitch to the senior Eckerly, outside corner for a strike. Eckerly led off, I think it was the 4th inning with a single. Came around and scored.
That is correct.
Okay. Timmerman quickly 0-1 with 1 out. Okay, so this is what we talked about earlier, was that Timmerman was kind of switching up his rotation or his delivery. And we're going to see what what the base ump's going to call. It's going to be an automatic ball.
Maybe that's what they were talking about before the inning started.
Very well, very well. It didn't look overly illegal what he was doing. It just looked like he was changing up his his left leg. So when he pulled his left leg up, that at times he would delay it, right, and just kind of slow down his delivery to home. It's hard to know exactly what they truly said was illegal with that. But either way, fastball in there for a strike, so now 1-2. So basically a legal pitch just means an automatic ball, Skip.
Does it count against his pitch count, though?
It should, yeah.
Okay.
I mean, it should. Because he still threw it, and, you know, it counts it counts as a pitch on the record, right? So, you know, otherwise, here's the thing. Otherwise, you would just keep doing, like, if you're getting close to your pitch count and you want to get the last out of the inning, you would just keep doing illegal pitches if it didn't count against your pitch count, right? You know, to save that number. So 1-2 count, 1 out. Eckerly at the plate. Fastball misses up and out by a lot. 2-2, 1 out. Bottom of the 6th. Eagan trailing the Rosemount Irish 4-3. Eagan 4 hits on the day. Eckerly, big swing. 9th strikeout of the day for Timmerman. It's going to bring out the head coach, Chris Swanson, as I think he's up against the pitch count. We'll see who's coming in. I think they do have somebody ready. But I think it's going to be, like I said, a position swap. So Timmerman's day is done. Looks like we're going to see Connor Cody is going to find his way to a position, I think left field. And that very well could mean that Rone is going to come in and relieve. So while we get this all sorted out, we're going to throw it back to the truck, take a quick 60-second break, and then we will be ready to tell you who's our pitcher of record in relief. 4-3 is our score with the Rosemount Irish leading in the bottom of the 6th, 2 down, and Timmerman's day is done. Back in 60 seconds for more here at Wildcat Park.
I'll see y'all.
I got some batteries and 2 flashlights.
What's up, champ?
Flashlights, cool.
Feel like you get taller every time I see you. Congratulations, Brandon. Game back to game.
Thank you so much.
Fostering a pet for a friend or neighbor can keep families together. Learn more at petsandpeopletogether.org.
That. Okay, so we can see our relief pitcher. That's going to be Cal Rone. He's going to come in from left field. In doing so, they're going to send Connor Cody out to left field to replace him. DH is still in place, so what that means is that Liebert will be hitting now for Cody, as Joe Timmerman's day is in the books and complete. Why don't you give us a rundown, Skip, of what we saw from Timmerman as excellent outing for the Irish?
Yeah, fantastic day here today. 5 2/3, 106 pitches, 3 walks, 9 strikeouts. That's 9 times.
Yep, 9.
4 hits, 3 runs.
Okay, so designated hitter is sophomore Aiden Cody, or excuse me, Cody's in left, Aiden Canty's at the plate. Cal Rone is on the mound. Canty, 286 on base, 9 RBIs, second on the team. Hot shot to short. Duscher fields cleanly. Throw over plenty of time to Jappel for the 3rd out of the inning. So Eagan goes no runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left on. We'll keep it here Well, you know what? We'll throw it back to the truck. Back in 60 seconds for the top of the 7th. Rosemount leading 4-3 on Eagan TV.
Hi, I'm Ryan Blaney, a third-generation race car driver. And we dedicate a lot of our time to going as fast as possible. But when my grandpa was diagnosed with Alzheimer's, it was a very unexpected bump in the road for us. It's important to notice if older family members are acting differently, experiencing problems with their memory, or having trouble with routine tasks. Early detection of Alzheimer's can give your family time to explore support services, make a plan for the future, and access available treatments. If you or your family are noticing changes, it could be Alzheimer's. Talk about seeing a doctor together.
I don't know why you're so sad. You've got a roof over your head.
You gotta stop with that depressing stuff. That's what white people think. You alright?
It just feels like it's coming from everywhere.
Do you want to talk about it?
You can talk to me if you're feeling sad.
Whenever you need to talk, I'm here, okay?
As the hits keep coming from the Mixmaster DJ Connor Strop up in the press box. Led Zeppelin, that in-between music there. We're happy with that. So Jackson Tasalis came in relief of Will Mitchell. 4-3's our score. Top of the 7th. The number 2 hitter comes to the plate, Cal Roney. First pitch swung on, popped up. Can be hit over to Eckerly, who has a beat on it for 1 pitch, 1 out. To retire Roney. Roney started his day in left field, came in relief of the starting pitcher, Joe Timmerman, with an excellent outing. And then they'll bring up the number 3 hitter, which is our second baseman for the Irish, Ty Hansen.
He's officially 0 for 2. Did score a run after reaching base on an error.
So another first pitch swing. This one results into a single out to right by Hansen. And as you mentioned before, Tasalis throwing so many strikes that obviously if you're Rosemont's lineup, you want to be swinging early and often in the count. Just gets past the outstretched glove of the first baseman, Iveri.
Yeah, 6 batters faced so far. He's only thrown 13 pitches, only thrown 1 ball.
Okay. Man, there's a lot of conversation between the coaches and the umpires now here in the last inning and a half here. And it's mainly the base ump that's getting all the attention. So, Hansen at first, bringing up the first baseman in the cleanup spot, Tyler Jappel.
Jappel 1 for 3, singled in the second, couple of groundouts in the 4th and 5th innings, respectively.
First pitch swinging as well. This one's going to be popped up to Eckerly. He's going to have plenty of time for a second double play of the day for Eckerly. Ended the 6th, ended the 7th in a double play. Hansen was off running, first pitch swinging, caught by Eckerly. Nobody communicated it was a fly ball as he slid into second. As we see this replay, nice, easy, and strong throw by Eckerly. So for Rosemount, no runs on 1 hit, no errors, nobody left on. 4-3's our score, back in 30 seconds for the bottom of the 7th as Rosemount leads 4-3 over Eagan on Eagan TV.
My character, Shazam, knows all about growing up in a family full of teenage superheroes. They're bold.
Where's everyone going?
To fight crime?
Okay. Adventurous. Shazam! There's never a dull moment. And no matter what happens, they'll always have your back. All they need is a place to grow and be themselves. And the best part is, you don't have to be a superhero to adopt a teen. Learn more about adopting a teen from foster care. Visit adoptuskids.org. You can't imagine the reward.
Honey, what I think you need is a socket wrench.
I played JV basketball.
I'm sorry. I don't think it looks right.
This is good, and it's all good, baby.
Is it really all good?
If you love me enough to routinely test your handyman skills, not to mention the strength of your marriage, then of course you'll visit nhtsa.gov/the-right-seat to make sure I'm in the right car seat.
I'm gonna call my dad.
Okay, so senior Matt Cunningham, who started the day at starting shortstop, is going to re-enter in the pitcher slot, back in his original slot. First pitch swinging, he popped up. Jappel's got a bead. So 1 pitch, 1 out for Ronay. And Skip, I mean, that kind of follows suit what we saw last inning with Tasalis on the mound. Kind of saw a baseball rarity.
Yeah, Tasalis, 3 pitches, 3 outs, even though he gave up a hit, courtesy of an inning-ending double play for the 2nd inning in a row.
Correct.
Easy fly ball there, but Tasalis has gone 2 1/3 innings and only pitched the ball 14 times.
Right. So yeah, so basically all 3 of his pitches were hit. One of them being a hit, one of them being a pop-up for a double play, and another one was a ground out or another pop-up.
Fly ball, the easy one to the second base.
Sure.
Or,
it's a short,
the,
right?
The
or
third base. Yep.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. There you go. Perfect. So now we're gonna see. Looks like we have a pinch hitter for Joe Anderson. This is gonna be Danny Lockenmeyer, the senior. Danny's set to play baseball next year too. He's got a couple options out there. Concordia, St. Paul, Minnesota State, Mankato being one of 2 of them. Danny will be a pitcher at the next level. So 2-0 now by Ronay to Lockenmeyer. Fastball up. So Ronay was cruising as he came in relief of Timmerman. Got the last out of the inning in the 6th. 1 pitch for an out in the top of the 7th. But now quickly 4 straight balls to Lockenmeyer. Lockenmeyer coaxes a walk on 4 pitches. After Rosemount had retired, what was it, 8 guys in a row? 8 or 9 in a row prior to that walk?
I've got 7 in a row, so
okay.
Going in, or 8 including this inning. Yep. You're right there.
So 8 in a row between Timmerman and Ronay, but Ronay 4-pitch walk to Lockenmeyer. Joe Anderson is going to re-enter and run. Joe Anderson, as we said, 6 for 6 on the year in stolen bases. Eagan as a team, I mean, we've talked about this all year, Skip. 53 for 64, so a 82.8% stolen base percentage. Leadoff hitter, Ty Gage. Ty. I keep saying Ty. That's his older brother. Tate Gage.
Now, do you think that was a deliberate kind of a pitch out per se to see maybe if the runner was going?
I don't know if I'd want to throw a pitch out after your pitcher just threw 4 straight balls though to walk a guy. I'd want him to be able to throw a strike and get back in the, throwing strikes. I mean, now you just wasted a pitch, and now Gage is, up 1-0 in the at-bat. So Gage, the leadoff hitter, leads the team, 11 RBIs, 263 average, 354 on base. He does have 4 doubles, tied for 2nd on the team. So he can put one in the gap, and then we would definitely see Joe Anderson off and running into the races. 1-1 is our count. And then, as we mentioned, too, Gage leads the team 10 for 11 on stolen bases. So 10 stolen bases, leads the team in runs. So having an excellent junior season. Strong throw by Mazurka. But Anderson slides to the backside corner of the base. A nice tag there by Hansen. Anderson gets in safely. So now Anderson 7 for 7 on the year in stolen bases. So Eagan now threatening to tie, down 4-3 with 1 out.
I feel like Nazurka's throws have all been fairly strong.
Yeah.
I mean, very close plays. I can see now that he got the hand in easily.
And this ball gets past Nazurka and sends Anderson. So in 2 pitches, Anderson goes from 1st to 3rd. That much closer to tying it up for the Wildcats here in the 7th with the leadoff hitter Gage at the plate. And actually on that play, too, it was a strong throw, a good pick, but a phantom take. Hansen tried to see if he could fool that base up. Didn't even get close to touching Anderson. From our distance, it looked like, he got a good sweep tag on him. So 2-2's our count. 1 out. Anderson at 3rd. Big hook for a big strikeout by Ronay to retire Gage. Bring up the junior 3rd baseman Theo King that's going to try to have the clutch hit.
Fooled him with the off speed and the breaking pitch, and he had him leaning. He was definitely out in front.
Yeah. And the pitch was out of the zone, so a nice pitch by Ronay, especially after he struggled in that previous at-bat to Lockenmeyer with 4 straight balls to walk Lockenmeyer. King comes up. 2 outs. First pitch, fastball outside. What's King done today?
King grounded out in the first, single stolen base and a run score back in the 3rd, and then flew out to right field in the 5th. So 1 for 3 with a run scored.
Anderson at 3rd, the tying run for the Wildcats. Fastball in, quickly 2-0 by Ronay to King. And this is where you need your catcher to be real big and be a brick wall backstop here. Keep everything in front, not let one get squirting by for Anderson to try to scoot in for the tying run for the Wildcats. 4-3 is our score. 2-0 count. Fastball up the topward part of the zone for a strike. 2-1 count. 2 down. Bottom of the 7th, South Suburban action here between Rosemount and the Wildcats of Eagan. Rosemount out hitting the Wildcats 7-4. Fastball, not framed, not in place for a ball low, 3-1. Both teams 2 blemishes on the board with 2 errors apiece. A back and forth game with Rosemount taking the lead in the top of the 5th. Here's Rone's pitch, swung on. Back to the pitcher, has to throw the glove. Ball was stuck in the web for the final out of the day. King with a hot shot, fielded by Rone. Ball was stuck in the webbing. Tossed the glove over to Jappel in plenty of time to retire King. So for Eagan, no runs on no hits, no errors, that 1 left on. Here's this last play. You can see it. It almost popped all the way through the webbing. If it does, more than likely King's safe at first, and Anderson ties.
Kept his cool, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you start to panic maybe when you realize you can't get the ball out of your glove, and he runs it over there close enough. I was wondering why he was running so far, and then I see he takes the whole thing off, tosses it over there.
Then you can see, so there's your rundown. 4-3 was our score, 7-4 on the hits, 2-2 were the errors for both teams. An excellent game for South Suburban Conference action. As you can tell, Rosemount starting to kind of catch their stride here after a slow start to start this conference scheduled play. Eagan has 2 more road games in the conference with 1 non-conference game, and there's a good chance that both teams very well meet each other in the playoffs. So I want to thank once again, real quick before we cut it out here, the Eagan TV staff, Tim as our director, producer, Nick at replay, Kevin at graphics, Max, Connor, and Jared as our camera crew. An excellent job, not only today, but all season by Eagan TV. I want to thank my guy here, Skip Newton, has been on by my side for most of the season. Anything to say, Skip, so far for your Eagan baseball action?
You know, it was a big game for both teams. Rosemount came out on top, and really it was Joe Timmerman, I think, was the story today. I mean, like we talked about, 9 strikeouts in 5 2/3. He was really in command for most of the day, and a well-earned win for him and a big win for Rosemount. But like you said, these 2 teams are probably headed for another matchup in the section playoffs. Absolutely.
So once again, thank you to all at Eagan TV. Once again, thank you to Skip here. We will keep you up to date if Eagan TV picks up any playoff games in the future once the playoff season starts. That'll start around Memorial Day for the first playoff game of the season. So with that being said, for Skip Newton, I am Casey Lux. Thank you so much for listening. Have a wonderful rest of your Monday here on Eagan TV.